Champions League. Coach, if we could just get a summary of the team's performance today, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much all for your presence. And I would like so that I make it as immediately and I don't forget because I know that there was some words from the coach of Saint-Eloi from Lupopo regarding the hospitality, and we are very pleased to hear, because we are a club indeed of good people, a club that likes to make good memories on who visits us, and obviously it was even beautiful to see they had people that traveled to South Africa to watch the game, and congratulate them for the attitude and for really thank you for the words in the name of Mamelodi Sundowns. Also, I would like to congratulate our supporters. Today we felt indeed a special energy, and I'm very happy that we could do a result, going towards your question, and that we could give them a good football game. Champions League is always another level. There's always extra motivation. There's always extra pressure also. There's always extra pleasure to be part of it, and obviously there is also some extra tension, and I think we saw all that throughout the 90 minutes of the match. We saw a huge commitment from the very beginning. Immediately a beautiful goal scored in an action that we worked in order to break the defensive line. We knew that probably would face a very low block, considering what we saw in previous games, and the team had a wonderful interpretation on it. I think that we lost a little bit the focus through the first half towards the level of intensity we should have put it throughout all the 45 minutes, so that we could score immediately more. But I also remember two actions from Tashrik that could and should have been goals. One from Ikram, and we should finish the first half winning by more than one goal. We did not, and at halftime it was important to reset a little bit the things, push a little bit the plan that we had, remember a little bit of the need of commitment that is important to have in terms of keeping the focus, the intensity of the focus, the direction of the focus, and be persistent throughout the second half, because if we would allow the game to go for the last 10-20 minutes, it would be very, very difficult then to deal with it. So also we were expecting that could be showers or rain, and memories on this pitch regarding rain are not the best. And obviously that the fact that we entered strong, we scored a second goal, and we had a very wonderful dynamic in terms of offensive variability, brought what we needed to in the pitch, and also the way the players that then entered. So I think the team made a good match, and to open the Champions League group stage the proper way.
Thank you, Coach. Colleagues, it's your turn to ask questions. Your name as well as your publication, please. Let's start here in the front with Kamo.
Coach, congratulations on the win today. Kamo for soccer. Coach, in the past you've said it's going to be extremely hard to replace an individual like Lucas Ribeiro Costa, but when you bring in people like Rizinho and Santos, is the idea to kind of spread the quality across the pitch as opposed to relying on one individual, that they can bring the quality on multiple fronts?
Yeah, it's I understand your question. I don't like to individualize too much the performances, because I think that we have inside the club players that indeed could rise and not substitute, because we don't expect to substitute no one, but bring quality. Basically, we coaches depend on quality. When we have, it's more easy. When you don't have, it's more difficult. And unfortunately, this season we've been suffering difficult times, because we have so much lack of players by the fact that they get injured, and we're dealing with a particular season on traumatic injuries. But but of course, good that there are players lifting the level, so that we can be on the demand, on the height of the demand, because the demand is very, very high. Expectations are always very high. But I think what is important is that the locker room understands that games should be played from the first to the last minute with the focus in the right direction. I repeat, in the right intensity, and with persistence. And when you don't do it, you get closer to suffering goals like you did today, in the goal that we didn't need to score, because there's a ball that we didn't press in the right way. So we cannot be complacent in Champions League. So it's good that the team understood that. At halftime, we corrected the things. We gave a good answer, a good reaction, and in the end, I think everybody's pleased by the performance that we saw. Beautiful game, beautiful game.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach Lorenzo from the Dusty Times. Just how important is it mentally, psychologically also to get this victory at home? Obviously, going to Congo in the away games, a very tough group. It's not going to be similar experiences. So mentally and psychologically, how important is it to start at home?
Yeah, I think it's obviously very important to start the group stage with a victory. We all remember that last year when I arrived here, there were 2 matches played and 1 point, and it's tough then when you lose matches against teams that theoretically you have to win, especially at home. Those lack of points can hunt you a little bit throughout all the competition, and it happened last year. I expect a very, very tough group. It's a group that the way matches, all of them will be very tough. We saw yesterday the match that we saw, teams that have capacity, and only a Mamelodi Sundowns in the highest level can cope with the and start working on the next opponent so that we can finish obviously the Champions League. This moment is part of the season in the best way.
Greetings, Coach. Miguel from Fapos. I think you've touched on this. The first 20 minutes, plus minus 20 minutes, quite good. But what do you think would have happened in the last part of the first half? Do you think it's complacency where the players feel we've scored a goal and they sort of take the foot off the pedal?
Well, I think that even the second half of the first half was not that bad, but you also need to understand that playing matches like this at 3 o'clock with such heat is not with an opponent that you used to play at that time, because they usually play you always with a lot of heat and under these circumstances, so they're more adapted than ourselves. It's obviously an advantage for them. So I think we had to also manage the moment, and especially we had to have a nice talk in terms of what we needed to bring on the second half. Because when you take the feet out of the accelerator, and you also need to understand that players are human beings, they cannot make an effort in the same level throughout 90 minutes. But you need to be enough wise to know how to deal with the moments that you cannot push so much, and have more capacity to hold the ball on those moments, take the ball out of them, don't lose balls, so that your recovery process happens while you are playing. And I think that we were not really well, we didn't manage well that moment. But a balance on a match is throughout 90 minutes, and I think we did a very nice performance today in a match with a lot of responsibility. And I'm very happy with the starters and the finishers. So the players that started the match and the ones that enter brought what we need to bring inside the pitch to get a result.
Good evening, Coach. Congratulations on the victory. Not about football per se, but just what's the general feeling and sense in around the club, the coaches, the players? What's the general feeling in around Mamelodi Sundowns at this moment in time from the season started to this point?
I don't understand the question.
What's the feeling? What's the feeling like in around the club of Sundowns at this moment in time, from the start of the season till where you are now?
I don't understand really what you want me to answer. Shupin, can you help me, please? Because I don't understand what's the purpose of this question.
He's asking how is the feeling with around the club and the players.
But I'm inside the club, not around. How can I answer the ambience around? I'm just inside the club. If you want to go in the locker room where I live, yes, I can tell.
The coaches and the players.
Because you said around the club.
The atmosphere in the team, Coach.
Well, the atmosphere is the one you saw on the pitch. A lot of players fighting for one objective, for the points, for everything. The ambience in the family is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. We live in a club with a lot of human relations, with a lot of friendship, with a lot of love. And we transform love in energy to produce football, to make football. Even the way that Mamelodi Sundowns likes to play football is obviously the one that is based on relations, on commitment, and that is something I can control, and I help to build. Something I found that comes obviously from the chairman, that comes from the board, that goes throughout all the sports direction up to the coaches and to the locker room. We feel really something that for me is even sometimes very surprising, how the players can be so supportive between themselves, even when they are competing for something that is common. If you could see the love that we gave to Peter this week, you would understand very easy how committed. And the ones that play in the same position are the ones that immediately give the example. It's really a pleasure to lead a group of men as the one we have in Sundowns, and to be. But as in a family, there are moments that also Papa and Mama needs to raise the boys, need to give education, need to refocus, need to put everybody going together towards the objectives that we have. It's normal. And obviously when things don't go here and then so well, we need to reset. But this is amazing because we all know what we want. We work together towards the objective. So absolutely. It's a privilege to be in a position I am.
Thanks, Coach. We'll take the last two questions. If we could keep it to one question, colleagues. So it will be Nick and yourself first here.
Good afternoon or evening, Coach. Nick Leeson from Backpage Media. We saw Santos and Arsenio link up for the first goal. 2 assists for Arsenio, 2 goals for Santos. Can you speak to the relationship and the chemistry between the two players? I'm sure they've bonded over both leaving Portugal and home and going on this new adventure together. What is their kind of dynamic?
I think the first goal is different from the second one. The second one from Nuno is a very beautiful collective action where more players were involved. The first one was a dink done from the outside towards the back of the defense. It was one of the ways we worked in order to de-block, low block in lines of 5, because despite they were with 4 defenders in a low block, they used to organize themselves in a 5-3-2, 5-4-1. We knew that outside of these 3 men, we could find a space to put someone to habitate, and from there serve the back of the defense. So it was something we worked. It could have been, if you remember, the ball in the post from Tashrik is exactly a similar situation. So it came from the work we did, from the analysis we did, and they interpreted it very well. Regarding the understanding between Nuno and Reizinho and Artur and Teboho, and well, it's normal that they are 2 Portuguese here, so it's normal they are friends. For sure they are friends, their families, for sure they share moments, but I don't feel that relation is, of course that relation helps inside the pitch, helps in a daily basis, but the relations are established towards behaviors that we want to have in the pitch. And that came not from a personal understanding between Nuno and Reizinho, but from a collective work that the team did, that they interpreted so well. But also if Tashik would make that goal that was on the post, it would be absolutely, we could say the same. What is important that is the boys, when they enter the pitch, they get committed with the game plan that we have, because we work very hard in order to try to provoke them and to bring them with the resources, the tools to face the different matches and the particularities that every opponent has. And they just need on that moment to have the belief to interpret it, because they have quality for it. And we stay very happy as coaches when we see, obviously, that they pick those tips, those behaviors, those things that we work, and out of there we can get. It's obviously very satisfying for the group of coaches.
And because we'll take the last quick question from Sia.
Coach Siasana here from Sunday World. A few minutes ago you said that the focus will now be on the next game. And the next game is up against Coach Ulani Mgwena's
No, you are wrong. You are absolutely wrong. Next match is against MC Alger.
Yes, which is coached by Coach Ulani.
That is just a detail.
Yeah, and so how do you then manage the emotions of the players? Because we all know that
next match, Champions League match, analyze the team, behaviors, prepare our strategy, go there, make the best, and let's hope the best is enough to bring points. No.
Thank you, colleagues. That brings us to the conclusion. Coach, congratulations once again. And
Thank you very much. Thank you.